So the pre-order thing, because I've noticed they've done that with the polys, except for the Donkey Kong joints. And just from experience, because even when we did the Nike by You thing before Nike by You,
Shoe Cultivator,
Shoe Cultivator, that led into Nike by You, and so I'm watching this and I'm wondering if this is just Nike testing the waters to do pre-orders going forward. Because it's a safe, like if you give people a window of time, like from 9 to 10 to do pre-orders, it still kind of creates.
You still pigeonholing yourself because if you open the pre-orders for 24 hours and you only get 7,000 orders or 10,000 orders, right? That's just, what's the difference between that and the Jordan 85 release?
No, you gonna get more than that. I mean, depending on the shoe.
People work, got a kid, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's
24 hours, you got, that's the longest. I mean, people got kids and this shit sell out.
But at what time? But would you really do a 24-hour pre-order window?
No. Like knowing Nike, they'll probably do like an hour window.
Oh, that's even less time then.
But everybody and their mama gonna be on there. So I mean, the only worry I would have is the site crash.
That's what I was gonna say. Is could they handle that type of traffic?
To extend the time.
Maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Like I mean, it's still gonna crash because everybody's gonna jump on it as soon as it's available.
Now, why they're going to this more? I assume because the violence is picking back up again with just general release.
I don't think as in. I'm not
they're
necessarily
doing it with limited releases. Like caveat stuff like that, new
Yeah.
stuff like that, which I don't really agree with, but
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that shoe, in my opinion, that shoe could have been a GR.
What?
That both of them, that
Which
Donkey
ones?
Kong and that
nobody should ever have to pre-order Air Max One.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Nobody ever should have to
Agreed.
pre-order.
But I think this is just them testing the waters, though. I think they're using this to test the idea of doing pre-orders.
You know, you could have bought a
pre-orders for limited shoes or pre-order for
if
all
you're doing it for an
Probably.
hour, it's got to be limited. But my thing, if you really wanted to test in IT, we got the thing called a stress test, right? Where we'll take a queue and we'll say, okay, send a queues are basically people who buy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, reassimilate. Send 1,000 people clicks per second to this URL and see how long will it take for it to break, right? Nike could stress test that by saying, all right, we got this new Jordan 11. We won't release it again. We're doing a pre-order. Here go an hour, 2 hours. That shoe's going to draw the most traffic. So now you know what your website can and can't handle. Now you know what your factory can and can't produce for the most demanding shoe ever. So now you can scale your manufacturing to what you need to be. It's a win for the customers because now we get a Jordan 11 that's not going to come out on Christmas when everybody and their mama got it.
Message.
To your point, that's why I see it as a win-win because it's like, because the brand, because now they ain't got to worry about overproducing. Because to me, that's the problem. That's the problem I think they're trying to address is knowing what's the scale, to his point, of shoes that they should produce because you don't want to overproduce and have those shoes sitting there. But at the same time, you ain't trying to leave money on the table.
I tell you what you do. You actually hire people that know.
Well, I mean, that'll help.
Or just
But pre-orders, though, I mean, we kind of address that, though, because it's like, okay, because you can still create this level of hype for it by saying you got an hour window.
To an extent it would, but the problem with that is it's still limited.
Or
at the end
just
of the day,
add better silhouettes to Nike by You.
That too. But I mean, it's limited, but not really. I get what you're saying, that it's not like something that you could access any day of the week, right?
I just think they should leave the limited games alone.
I do too.
I just think this is not.
But they find value. That's the thing, though. They find value in the limited stuff because that stuff draws hype.
It draws hype to the brand.
Yeah.
It keeps people coming back. Which
there's
is
intrinsic
probably,
value in that.
But which would have been why now with this last big hair release being on DotSwoosh, now you've gotten people to hop back on DotSwoosh again.
Yes.
But just to say, the hype, that's like I say,
just not releasing nothing on there again.
To me, it feel like Aisha Curry-ish. Like, I'm married, but I just want to see if somebody still want to talk to me. Like that's just how that is when you say, we want to make money, but I'd rather keep things limited so people can keep talking about us. Like,
man, Larissa Pippen or Aisha Curry?
Oh, Curry, no question. Ain't no hesitation.
Okay, I just wanted to see.
Had to see where his head was at.
Yeah, but Aisha Curry.
I was already floating when Guru said, I was like, boy, yeah, no question. Absolutely.
I just had to see. I just wanted to know.